This is a variation of a squat that you might not have seen before, and it's called a Zercher squat. Now you might think they look a bit stupid and wonder why anyone would actually do them, but actually there's a couple of use cases why they might be better than doing your standard high bar back squat. Now the first reason you might want to try these out is to do with your shoulders. This is where you have to put your hands when you're doing a normal high bar back squat, and it's not really a comfortable position, especially if you've already got some shoulder mobility issues. Now if you can't get your hands back here comfortably to do a back squat, that means you're going to have to load the weight in front of you, and there's a couple of different ways to do this. Now one of the ways you can load the weight in front of you is by doing a goblet squat, and that's all well and good when you've got a weight like this, a 7.5 kilo, you can go into the squat. It's quite comfortable, and we seem to have solved our issue. But the problem occurs as we try to go a little bit heavier, as we get stronger over time. We start using weights like this at 22 kilos, and then quickly you can see that it becomes quite awkward to focus on holding the weight and still getting the squat. It's doable, but certainly as you get stronger, you're going to need weights that are even heavier than the 22 kilos, and very quickly your form is going to start to break down. Now the other way that we can load the weight in front is going to be doing the Zercher squats like I showed you before. This bar is 20 kilos, so roughly the same weight as what we just did on the goblet squats. However, when I take this, you can see it's a lot more comfortable to hold the weight, and I can really focus on my form rather than having to hold a dumbbell in my hands. But that's not the only reason you might want to do these. An important part of squatting is what's called bracing, which is when you inhale a deep breath of air, hold it in your stomach and tense your core to make yourself nice and strong and stable when you're doing a squat. Now this can be quite difficult to get used to when you're starting off, and it's much better to practice this using a Zercher squat than a high bar squat. The reason being, if I'm doing a Zercher squat and I'm practicing the ability of keeping myself nice and stable, if I get to the bottom and I fold a little bit, I can very easily drop the weight over the front of me without having to worry about hurting myself, as opposed to if I had a high bar squat, things get very technical quite quickly and you could easily injure yourself. Outside of the reasons I just mentioned, Zercher squats are also useful for people that do combat sports because the nature of holding the weight out in front of you is very similar to wrestling or grappling in jiu-jitsu. And also, you might just want to try them out because they're different and they might just feel a lot better for you. So if you haven't done one before, try it out, see what kind of weight you can move, and before long you might well be doing these as part of every single leg day going forwards.